Good evening, everybody. This is the um, Fate of the Heroes edition 2 test of Might and Will. Um, I am your GM and Gotcha, the superhero for the evening, Rosebud. With us, we've got Hellion, High Speed, and the Masquerade. So, who wants to introduce themselves first? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
I'm Quinn, and I'm playing the Masquerade.
Perfect.
Good evening, listeners. I'm Evan, and I'm going to be playing the ever-popular Hellion.
What up? I'm Zach or Jack, and I'm playing High Speed.
All right. Did anybody want to share what happened last week on our adventures?
Last week, our heroes went into a training exercise that they were a little underprepared for. Taking off more than they can chew, Hellion and High Speed are now upset with the horrible leadership of both Gotcha and Hellion is just not having anything. The only people who seem to be actually enjoying anything is, well, Masquerade and Gotcha. I hope this week we can work out the differences in our group. Or maybe not, who knows?
Who knows? But hopefully we can. So, let's see. So we find ourselves walking... Litten bugging me.
Dun dun dun, the true villain attacks.
Yes,
Litten.
Litten, the cat of destruction. But we find ourselves walking down the hallway after the holographic training center, and we start heading towards the elevators. We get in and we start going down below into the sub levels, and it seems like it takes a while to get where we're trying to reach. But when we do, the doors open and you walk in and you see a huge kind of just dome that's fully decked out with pretty much just true nature outdoor mountains. There's a river in the far corner. There's a little bit of a forest, and as you can see in the far distance, there's actually a storm going off, so it does have its own little weather systems as well. Basically in just a giant real-world fighting arena. And in the center of this arena, you see pretty much you see a lot of heroes, a lot of them that you've seen. We've got Gullin the Boar. We've got... in fact, Munen's there. He's actually in the middle, in front of everybody, once I get the screen pulled up. But we definitely... It's kind of like just an open field with grasslands, and I'm just slowing down. So we've got Jorgman, we've got Needhog, we've got someone that nobody's met before, but his name is Notmare. As the name implies, he's probably scary. So, we even find Ratatab Blunder Blaster in the back there, ready to snipe anybody who is to come in and take the fight to them. So, at this point, what does everyone do?
So they're not like hiding or anything. They're just all out in the open.
They're all in the open.
The moment Hellion sees Moonin, he pushes his way past his other three compatriots, almost like throwing them aside, and just stomps towards them. It looks like he's going to start a fight with them.
Okay, so Hellion's going to start moving forward. Is anybody else going to start move?
High Speed immediately books it to Munin.
All right, so you take your full movement to try and get there.
Yeah.
Perfect. So we'll just throw your guy. Oh, wrong button.
Can you give us control of our characters so we can move on?
I'm not sure how to do that. But
Okay.
yes, I believe in the future.
We're all new at this, everybody. We're all
Yeah, we're learning.
step by step. Hopefully, when we've made our first millions, we will be experienced digital.
We'll be perfect at this. It'll look beautiful.
Even
just
that
wait for
person
the
will be
cop.
going. I have nothing more to teach them.
But yeah, so you take your full movement to basically make it about 1 square away from him. And hopefully we'll see that pop up in a minute. But yeah, so you're about 5 feet away from him, and I need everybody to make a will check.
How far did I get?
You got about 30 feet, 5.
Remember, I'm also huge, so
I'll give you about 45
okay.
because of pure height. So I pulled you about a little bit further out.
I rolled a 15 for my will check.
Okay.
But that's a flat one, or do I add anything?
That's just a flat will.
So then 13.
Where is Will again?
It's a flat one, so you just roll.
It's your primary
It's
skill.
under the defensive initiative.
That'd be a 3.
Perfect. So
A 3, if no one heard that.
a 3. Row. Okay. So we'll start with high speed, and you start seeing the world around you just completely change. You're no longer in this open desert plain with hills. You're now stuck in your, we'll say, happy place. We find yourselves on the battlefield. And tell me more about your happy place.
There's trenches lining both sides of this no man's land. Truly, it was the worst spot to be in. I'm back in the trenches of World War II on my own world.
That's your happy place?
It's where I'm the calmest.
Yeah,
Amongst
there's
the
you know
chaos.
there's no people, like you said. There is literally no man land here today, and you still hear the bombs whistling through the air.
Ah, so
You hear the
relaxing.
screams, and in your head you kind of have it all blocked out. It's just silent, and you see. Where are you in the? You're in the trenches, kind of just sitting there?
I'm in the trenches, surrounded by former soldiers who I'd served in the 101st with. All in there, just some are writing letters, some are just eating. There's a few playing cards off to the side, and I'm just there, ready to my rifle in hand, pistol on my side, about to look over to see where the Germans are.
Yeah, okay. So, as you're sitting there amidst all the chaos, you see that you see Munin come in through the trenches, and he's just walking through everybody. There's nobody stopping him. Nobody even looks up to notice this stranger. And he walks up to you and he says, "Hello, high speed. Is that what we're going by nowadays?"
I guess it makes the most sense.
It sure does, being one of 2 people who can actually possess this power right now. So you came up to me pretty quick. What's going on there?
I don't like the way Gotcha's leading. She's in this mindset that just because she's done this before, she has the experience to lead. I've led all of these men into battle before, and they've all come home. Well, most of them have come home.
Yeah, I see what you mean. She's very arrogant at times. She's very sure of herself, which is both good and at times bad. But she does take up after me. I found her orphaned in a in a land far away from here right now, and she grew up with no family. The best I could do is be there, but I could never be a true father figure. I was always busy. So she had to learn things on her own, and she kind of takes the way that she does it as being the best way to do it. She does really care about you guys. In fact, she chose most of you. You're the one exception, but she chose everybody else for this group. It's also her last ditch attempt at having a team before she just becomes a day-to-day sidekick. And that would drive her insane. So, I'd plead that you give her one chance. I know that you've suffered some family loss as of now. You've left everything at home. You've left these men you've trained, your wife, kids.
How'd you know about my wife and son?
I have ways of knowing things, but let's just say I also know what kind of assault weapon you want, and it's a little too much for this world, but I like your gumption. You could always pick up something when you go back there.
He holds up his this now rifle that doesn't even feel real in his hands. It just falls. He just kind of falls back into a makeshift bench that's in the trench. Just, I see where you're coming from, but it's hard to take orders from someone who is inexperienced. Back home, we call that suicide. I will give her a chance, but she needs to learn that respect is a two-way street, and she clearly has not earned mine. But I will give her a chance.
I think you are right in what you say, and I hope she will give you and show you the best way. But she could not. I guess we'll find out. Is there
Yes, sir.
anything else that ails you?
I miss my world.
And as you say that, the world around you again begins to just twist and change and turn into your home. You're back at home. Your wife is in the background. Your kids are out front playing.
Playing catch.
Yeah, they're just throwing the ball around. And yeah, you just keep on. You just see this world, and if you want to describe it more, you can. I'm sure the old telly is probably playing the radio, like the news, and talks about war times, and of course more war times.
On the TV, it's showing pictures from the front lines before I even left for the war back in like 1937 or 38, before I even joined. And my wife, you can hear her humming in the kitchen. My kids are outside throwing a baseball around. And hear my dad in the other room humming some tunes from the 20s, singing to himself. I'm sitting in the living room just on the couch. I sit there for a moment and I realize how am I here? Is this real? Is this what's my home? Is everything a dream? Hello? I like call out like, hello? Munin? I stand up from the couch. Honey? Martha? You in the kitchen?
So at this moment, Newton walks through the kitchen door, and he goes, "I'm sorry, I can't give you what you're looking for right now. We can always look forward to it in the future, but as of now, this is beyond anything I can control." And at this point, the world starts to fade to black, and then nothing more. You wake up and you're back in your real world. And at this point, we go to Hellion. Okay. And while you describe what your happy place is, I gotta take care of some animals.
Okay. Wherever Hellion was before, it's now a field with red, bloody peaks far off in the distance. And as he looks around the field, there's a banquet table. And there's various colonial people sitting at the table. And talking with them are various demonic creatures and bad dudes, biker gangs and so forth. But they're all talking like nothing's different. And Hellion blinks and he looks down at himself, and he's not Hellion now. He's himself before the accident. He is Robert F. Moulton. Dark black hair, sort of shaggy, but for the time, trimmed beard, and a dark red colonial coat is the one thing that stands out. And he looks at his human hands, and he flexes his fingers, and he goes, "It has been some time since I've been trapped in my own mind. Is this your doing, Munin?"
It's at this moment, Union walks through the door, and he says, "Ah, Hellion, it's so good to meet you, old friend. How have you been?"
Don't act like we're friends, Munin.
"Oh, we were friends at one point."
The first time I met you, I tried to throw you through a bank vault door.
Ah, yes. What a pleasant day. I'm sure glad I wore my battle suit that one. That could have hurt.
So is this how we talk? You hide from me, and then you trap me in my head with my muddled memories, and he gestures to the table of various normal-looking people, and then demonic creatures and villainous bikers and so forth that are all acting like this is normal. This is Thanksgiving Sunday.
Yeah, so he looks around and he sees this discourse between the demon Hellion and the human, now known as Hellion, like
Formerly Robert Mull.
formerly Robert, yes. And he looks at it, and he's just well, I wanted to show you that there's more to you than the demon side of you. I know that's the most fun. You do it very well. I mean, clearly, you've survived this long and even gotten past me and my forces for many, many years. It's almost been, I would say, like a friendship. I know you don't see it that way, but I think in time you may.
Oh, yes. I am well acquainted with friends who place explosives and enchanted chains on other friends' beings. The only reason you got me to join your little group of spandex wearers is because you put a bomb in my chest.
Well, I know you've got issues that are starting to lurk up from your past. And I know not of the chains. Those are not of my doing.
The moment you mention issues, the sky, which is a mix between like a normal day and a hellish landscape overcast, starts to go more red. and in the distance, something is coming. And Robert goes, I guess we don't have much time, so I'm going to make this quick. You have to put me back in jail. I can't be on your team anymore.
He ponders on what you say, and he looks down and he just thinks, and he finally has an answer, and he goes, well, I could send you back down into our prison here, but with him who's coming to find you, even my stronghold cannot hold you. You will find yourself in better condition if you are on the move consistently.
I pull back the scarf, like the colonial scarf that like most men had around that time, and I reveal that the chains are there. And this is the first time. Normally, my human self hardly has anything to do with my demon self, but the chains are there. And I hold my wrist and I go, I can't fight. Every time I try to do what used to come naturally, I am bombarded with holy divinity searing pain. I am incapable of defending myself. I am incapable of rescuing people. I am incapable of anything I used to be. I am weak. True weakness. Even weaker than when I was human. Because at least then I could raise a fist. I can't fight because I am plunged into pain every time I raise my fist. Yes, something dark comes for me, and I look over your shoulder, and whatever it is, it's getting closer, and the fields are actually starting to catch on fire from what's coming. But I can't be on the streets, and I can't be on your team because I cannot fight. I cannot use the demon body I've been cursed with. So you better just throw me in the deepest, darkest hole and hope that he doesn't come to me before your little scheme finishes.
He looks and he chuckles, and he, in a very playful way, he goes, well, I think when it comes to the fighting, I think you need to distinguish what you fight for and why you fight for it. And as the prison part, well, finish out this trial for at least gotcha's sake. Finish this fight. If this fight doesn't prove that you can do what you need to do, then we'll find you a better place, and we can remove the bomb from your chest, and we can check to see where these binds may have come from. And
Noonan, tell me honestly, you had nothing to do with it.
he looks down and he says, "This is not anything I can control."
And just to make sure, I want to roll like what would it be, a investigation or perception? What do you think?
I would say perception, because you're looking for body language that would say I'm either lying or something like that, I'm assuming.
Yeah, that is a 17.
With the 17, you can see in Munan's eyes that he's trying to tell you the full truth, and he's wanting you to feel that he is being truthful. He knows that he's lied because he's done a lot of bad things, but he knows he's lied. He knows he's done these things, and he is trying to portray that he is being truthful to you. And he goes, "Come on, old friend. Give me one more chance." And he sticks his hand out to you.
I look at the hand, and I reach out, and I take his hand and I shake and I say, "You have to go." And I like throw him as the thing, the fiery demon half of me, slashes at where Moonin stood.
And as the slashing motion Munion's already turning into a fog, and then everything around you starts fading into this color fade into black.
The demon turns to Robert and says, I almost had him! I almost had him and you let him get away! Robert sighs and says, we have to do something different. We have to go back. If you would let me kill him, we would have been free! You honestly think he's not responsible for the bindings? I don't know, but if there's one thing about Munin, for all his conniving and all his trickery and all his double talk, he never actually lies in all the time I've known him. So we gotta try something new. I hope you're along on the ride for this, you giant evil hellspawn. And then we fade out as the demon screams.
And then you wake up and you are just in the middle of the battlefield again.
I would like to imagine like I was mid-step when I went into it, so like I face plant the moment I come back.
For sure, you were making your way to run. All right, and then as he contemplates why his face hurts now, we run to the Masquerader, who didn't initially run to anybody. He kind of just stood his ground in the back.
Do I see
Hey man, I just work here.
Do I see them go into like a trance?
You are also in this trance.
That's it, okay.
Did you roll a
13.
13? Yeah, so you're definitely in this trance as well. And as you start seeing them like run out and you're just standing there and you see Gotcha kind of disappear and you're not sure where Gotcha goes. But Gotcha disappeared in front of you and everything quickly fades to black. And then as the light opens up, as you like open up your eyes again, you're in your happy place. Describe your happy place to me.
So I am on stage with a few big government and scientist people and then a few other people watching me. And there is a PowerPoint in the back that says the intersection of science and magic. And I am giving a really important presentation. And they're actually paying attention and I can see that they're fascinated with what I'm talking about. And they aren't ignoring.
One leans over to the other. His parents were so wrong about him.
And they aren't like,
It's his happy place.
they aren't discrediting him because normally science and magic don't go together. But this is both parts of his personality and they're actually getting respected by these people.
I'll move back home. Sorry.
All right. So, and that's happening. Munin walks in and he stares at the world around. He's like, "Wow, you've got a pretty nice place around here."
Compared to the others, this actually is a happy place.
He's like, "This is probably the most normal place I've seen today."
Damn.
Is there anything you needed to talk to? You have issues on anything? I'm just checking up while we're all together for one moment in life.
Why did you come to me?
Well, you're a part of this team. I've always got to do whatever I can for this team.
But why was I picked for this team?
Gotcha. Just drew your name. You'd have to talk to Gotcha.
She drew names.
I'm not sure how she did it, but she just picked people. She told me this is who I want to be my final team. Now, why and how she chose anybody, besides, obviously the speedy guy, he came out of fucking nowhere. But other than that asshole, I mean, I'm not, he's just kind of an experiment gone awry at this point. But Gotcha picked the two of you. She saw something.
She associated you with the hellspawn.
She looked at these two names and was like, demon and a magic person. Shit, alright.
Yes.
Yeah.
So how many people did she have to choose from.
You too.
I'm obviously searching for a compliment, and he's not giving it to me. So I'm getting a little. It's not becoming my happy place anymore.
So what happens as this place now no longer becomes as happy as it once was?
Wait a
Does it-
minute!
does
Magic
anything
and
change?
technology don't go together!
They're like the science. Like let's say the higher up people that are in the front are like a mix of scientists and other magicians. And then two of the magicians switch faces and they end up being my parents, and then my family starts to show up. And they just argue with the scientists, and the scientists start arguing with them, and they're talking in circles, and they aren't getting the point. And then I like start to put my hands on my head, and I'm like, I just want to know if I am worth the effort. My parents put in effort, and I wasn't good enough for them. And I had a purpose learning biology, but I'm not doing that right now. I don't know why I'm here.
Well, Gotcha knew about your family ties and saw that your magic could definitely be worth something. I know, because of that. Yes, we're having stream issues. So, there we are. We're there now for issues of hopefully this will start working better. But yeah, so
What's a stream?
shut the fuck up.
A stream? We don't have the technology. Don't you mean a mind projection? Sorry.
You motherfuckers. But yeah, so he looks at you and he's like, I understand. The heroing part is not normally your wheelhouse. It's why when I told Gotcha that you would probably not accept, they still offered. I think it may have been the fates or something that spoke that just made it so it worked out. You'll have time tomorrow. This is the final day of, or the final part of your training. We'll put the paperwork through tomorrow, assuming you all pass. And then you can just get to studying whatever it is you study, those little organisms.
So the others who are looking for answers from you are looking at the wrong person. They should be going to our leader, I guess.
Yeah, you hear two voices going, suck up, in the back of your mind.
It's... If you want to know more of why exactly Gotcha chose you, you'd have to speak with them on that. I just approved of you coming and then saw your skills and figured we might as well take use of it. And I think now with the disappearance of Dr. Cole, and we have her full research bay waiting for you actually to start studying it. So
We're going to investigate that.
Eventually.
Sorry.
One more thing before you go.
of course,
What is this challenge about? What should I be doing? I'm sure the other ones did not think to ask you.
of course not. No, they were very self-centered on what was going on in their life, which totally get it. Their lives are shit shows, but no.
Thanks for the call.
Well, I mean, when you're a guy who comes from a different universe and half, mostly demon guy, your life is pretty whack.
You're not going to ask about the other dimension thing?
Fuck, I forgot the
You
question.
said so. I don't know that guy.
I just went off on a tangent.
What are we supposed to be doing in this challenge?
In this challenge, not getting
Survive.
beat the fuck up. Yeah, everybody's gonna come in at you fighting, so you either need to work together to stop them or figure out something to do. But
Oh,
that's
well.
it'll be a test of might at this point. The will is over because that's why I'm
We're
here.
kind of screwing up on the team part.
Well,
they all ran away.
Ba-da-da-da-da-da.
But as the only one that'll pass, I guess I'll see you later.
yeah.
Oh, cocky, are we?
Suck up.
It was
suck up.
good to speak to you. I hope to do this soon.
Bitch.
And he fades away into a cloud of like gas, and he
He leaves only the fresh scent of pine.
exactly lemon pledge.
I thought it would have been like some oil or some shit since he was tinker.
Yes, there's an oil spill now. Oh my
Not while
god! I
he's drinking.
ate.
Not while he's drinking.
Sorry.
So, as everyone kind of comes to at the same-ish time, we've got High Speed who kind of just freaks out. He gets there and he's like, hold on, how did I get back here? Because this is reality. Wait, what was reality? Because all of his senses were firing, so he thought he was actually back there. So he's kind of freaking out. Life has already been stressful, so he's got this new form of shell shock. Hellions face down in the grass, cursing. I believe his cigar has probably started a little brush fire in the corner.
Oh,
I'm just peacefully
Yeah,
meditating.
you once it happened, you somehow started floating, and that's that.
Gotcha's just going, what?
Gotcha's next to Munin on the battlefield and just whispering to each other.
Can my character see the bushfire? It's like, oh shit, hold up.
The bushfire is behind you, so you'd probably smell it.
Does my character, can you like look around and realize there's a fire and be like, can I get a fire extinguisher?
As the fire is starting up, Hellion pushes himself up. He wipes the grass and the dirt off his face. And he looks at the fire that's starting, and he just puts his hand on it, and he doesn't put it out. But the flames suddenly, like, lick about his fingers and then go into his skin.
Do they light his brass knuckles on fire?
No, as a matter of fact. They don't even, they just seem to interact completely with just his body. They don't interact with his clothing or his items.
Okay.
And he does it, like, absent-mindedly, and he actually kind of looks at it, and he kind of shrugs, and he stands up, and you notice now he's not fuming anymore. His eyes aren't glowing. He doesn't have smoke literally coming out of his ears and his mouth. He still looks pissed, but whatever that face plant did, it kind of calmed him down. Now he's just back to being an asshole.
Jarred him back to reality.
Do we all know that similar experience probably happened to the other ones?
I think we would have to...
You would have to interact with each other and talk about it. Because as far as you know, you all went to a very different place.
Mhm.
Can my character zip over to Hellion and be like, you got some shit on you still? And I just point to like my cheek.
I flick it off, and I go, yeah, you got some shit on yourself. And I lean forward and just flick your nose with the end of my claw.
Are the other people starting to attack at this point?
No.
They're just circle?
Nope, as far as you know, they're all high-ranking superheroes.
Okay.
The top echelon of heroing in this city. You've got Golan, like I said, Ratata, which you've seen outside. Hellion's got vast knowledge on all of these assholes, in his opinion.
Can I lean over? Is like, so who here have you fought?
Pick a day of the week. I fought all of them at one point or another.
What can you tell me about them?
I would say, out of all of them, the only one you may not have fought would be Notmare. But you two would feel very akin to each other because he's
Is he Batman-esque?
no, think more.
Justice for Asgard!
No, he's more of the assassin. He
Oh.
comes in
So
dead
Black-
of night.
So Black Widow.
Black Widow, who can
The Punisher?
who can become the darkness.
Okay.
Okay.
He can turn into a gas form.
Oh.
You guys would not know this.
No.
Hellion would know about the gas form. He would know rumors of him, but he does not
Okay.
have visual knowledge of it.
While
So-
they're talking, I'm gonna yell, can we plan over here, guys?
Gotcha immediately teleports back to you. He's like, yep.
See you over there. Zip over there.
I'm about to walk away, and I look and I see my old friend
Nidhogg.
Nidhogg. Thank you. I will get his name eventually.
Nidhogg of Justice.
I see Nidhogg, and I point at him, and then I flip him off and walk away.
Nidhogg sees and he just like he shakes his head a little bit and just disapproval.
So what were you guys planning? What were you talking about?
Oh, I don't know any of these guys.
Explain.
You haven't seen these superheroes before either?
Well,
Weren't
my
your
parents.
If you watch TV, the essential form of TV, you would have seen some of them pop up, so you would know some of the more flashier ones. Golan is a flashier hero.
I would actually
no.
say that your parents like made you sit down in front of the television. It's like watch them, learn something.
Well,
Probably when you were younger.
I've
notes.
seen them before, but I'm in my PhD. I haven't been outside of my apartment in 6 months.
Can I roll a mind to see if I can remember anything like that stands out aside from that one's fast, that one shoots, that one's strong?
Sure. Depending upon the level of success you have, I will let you in on possible possible powers that you may have encountered.
Okay, so
Is there assisting?
would that
in
be a
this game?
straight
Is there what?
intelligence?
Can I assist in
Yes.
this game?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff like that.
Yeah.
You do not have to be combat forward. You can do a lot of ally assistance, so it would give them additives. You can use your powers in a assisting way. So yes, you can set your stuff to wait to react to something if you wanted to.
Okay.
So is this just a straight up intelligence?
This would be straight intelligence to see how much you recall, and unless you've got basically the total recall power.
Well, I have the ultimate effort, but I really don't want to use that just yet.
Not something like this.
That would be a 9.
Unless it's that.
A 9.
Mhm.
So with the 9, you essentially know that you know which ones do specific powers.
Okay.
You know that they're all pretty straightforward. You know Golan is fast. You know Yorgmun's got fire that you cannot put out. And you cannot absorb. It's different from your fire.
Mhm.
It's a magical fire. You know that Notmare you don't fuck with. You've never been in that much trouble that they've attempted to kill you. Not like that. Then you've got Ratata, who you know is a weapons expert, both with non-lethal and lethal firearms, including a sniper rifle that actually can protrude, that is attached to their back and actually comes out
Like
and
a war machine style.
like War Machine style can pull up from their back and shoot from it.
Okay. Can my character kind of like glance over and like? It's
Oh,
like
and that Nidhogg is super strong,
Yeah.
has thunder control,
it's
and
a
lightning
super
control.
fucking dick.
and he is very prone on justice.
So with my well-informed, can I see if I know anything about Ratata's gun?
Can my character also kind of look over at the gun and be like, "Oh, that looks like something we have back home."
I want Hellion to point out just one thing. He points at the newcomer again, the assassin guy. What was their name?
Notmare.
He points at Noltmare and he goes, "That's probably the one guy I don't know anything about. What do you know about him?"
I will also, with well-informed, see if I know anything about him.
Roll a intelligence check with, I believe that's a ability, correct? So add the ability modifier or the roll on that. If not, just make it at advantage if you can't find it.
And what did you want to figure out about the gun?
I just kind of wanted to look over and like, kind of figure out if it's kind of what I'm used to with from where I come from, with my vast knowledge
19.
of weaponry back home.
So
Okay.
yeah, so you pull out your tablet essentially, and you've got a file folder that you set up back when you were being forced to train as a hero on all the main heroes at the time. So you've got knowledge on him, but it's a little outdated right now.
Mhm.
You pull up the files and you see that he can control darkness and light. So you know that if you were in a dimly lit room or in a room with some normal light, he could make it come near pitch black or very obscure darkness that he is a part of and can essentially reach his claws out and like attack from the shadow.
Mm-hmm.
That is about as far as you understand, and that you've heard through your training, your pre-training information you were getting from your family.
Mm-hmm. And did I get anything for the gun? Do I know
For
about?
the gun, you know that it is a. Think of it like it's full mechanical, but it's very lightweight. It's like essentially carbon fiber based. It has multiple rounds it can fire. Once again, non-lethal, so it's like taser shots.
Mhm.
It's essentially like, think of it like a sleek 50 cal.
Ooh.
It has it can shoot piercing, so it can shoot through walls.
Mhm.
If she uses her enhanced visuals, which you would know about from your hero book as well, that she has enhanced visuals, so she can see from a lot farther. She has true sight, essentially. She is blind, so she doesn't actually rely on her vision.
Oh, that
Oh.
changes my plan.
So,
High speed.
yeah.
I can show you how to work that gun if you steal it from me.
It's attached to her body.
It's attached to her body.
You would
Doesn't know.
literally have to
Would I have to kill
you
her?
would have to cut it off of her.
Would it still work?
Yes, you would only have one shot because the bullets come from within her. It's part of her mutant power is that she can make the bullets herself.
Can
So she
How does
is.
she-
can I
she-
like
Hmm?
be
How
like
does she see?
She think like Daredevil, but also outside of just normal hearing,
Mm-hmm.
echolocation, stuff like that. She also can see kind of like in Naruto,
Hinata.
Hinata, where
Okay.
they can see.
so she
energy.
can see my
Mhm.
running towards her then.
She
Pretty much can I
could. Yes.
I turn I'm like, well, I could, but you also forget there's one other speedster over there. That guy is
Oh.
just as fast as me and he can get to her twice as fast. I'm still
I
allowed
think
to
we
do that.
should take out one person first.
Well, clearly they're more
And while you guys are discussing and planning all this, Munin descends on you in his power suit, which none of you have ever seen. It's a pitch carbon black. Looks almost like raven wings sticking out from the back of it.
Yeah.
And he's got like a full black, like crow head, almost as his helm. And he comes down to you. He's like, "All right, now you guys get to choose who you fight. Out of all of everyone here, including myself, I'd love to join the fun."
Can High Speed just look to his team? Look back to Gotcha, who I'm assuming is standing to the side, just listening.
Gotcha's just observing and hearing what you guys have to say and not trying to interfere with your ideas.
Can I look up to Helly and like, do we want to take them all on, guys?
No, not all.
Why not?
Because we're
Coward. We're taking them all on.
That would not be fair. You can choose one for each person.
All right. Quick guy, gun girl.
I said one per person.
And Hellion points and goes, "Hog."
And because they're about like they're about 70 feet away from you at this point. They're in the middle of the field, and you just see Nidhogg raise his massive hammer in the sky, and it just sparks with lightning.
I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
I want to try what's his name, the assassin. I want to.
You want to try Notmare?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll take on Quickie.
All right. So we've got Golan, Nidhogg, and Notmare. All right. Now that is a combination. So, Gotcha looks at Radita and it's like, "I've got you." So it'll be those four against you four.
Radita's the
Radita
Assassin.
Blunderbuster.
that's the assassin one.
No, that is the
The gun.
sniper gun lady.
Okay.
The assassin is he looks like he's got a wolf tail.
Oh.
He's also
He
has claws.
Oh, is it the one who?
You'll see, every once in a while he pops up on the stream, but yeah, He's all black. Like, his outfit is pretty much all black to help him mask in with his dark realm that he tends to stay in. He's got these Wolverine-type claws that he has on. It's a weapon, not a attachment of him, or not an extension of him. But yeah, so with that, let's take a quick break so I can get my player cards ready. But while we do that, everybody roll for initiative. Our first roll for initiative, by the way.
10.
7.
18.
All right. Well, and with that, let's take a little break and we will go with some quick music.
Do we
That's. Also,
And we're back live. Just so you know, voices are now heard.
Hello.
I figured why not.
How dare you try to tell me to kill my future mentor's sister?
We can
How
keep her in a
dare you
stasis.
say that while the camera's off, and now you're not even gonna back it up.
We can keep her in a stasis and
Uh-huh.
just carry her around to
That,
missions.
okay. The equivalent of that is killing Wolverine and then keeping him only alive so he can use the claws.
I'm sure there's some comic book that did that.
No.
They kept
I
him
know a lot
alive
of
to
X-Men.
use his.
I forgot how silly I made Golan's initiative.
I'm scared. What? Can I see?
Oh, you'll know.
You'll see.
He's going first. Let's just say that.
Oh.
He is going first.
Yippee.
Because what did you roll?
I rolled an 11 plus an 11.
Yeah, not fast enough. 22
Uh-huh.
then, right? That's a total 22?
Uh-huh.
Perfect. Yeah, he is... Official number is 32.
Oh!
His official number is 32. With a initiative baseline of 19. For fun.
Yeah, he's going first.
He's going first. I told you, he believes he is the fastest alive.
Wait, wouldn't mine also rival his then? Because I am now the second fastest alive.
You rival him, sure, because there's only 2 people who can go remotely this fast.
Mine's a
That's
plus
like
1.
comparing a snail to
A slug.
like yes, a slug. They're both really fucking, like, they're going the same speed. You can compare them, but then Golian steps on him accidentally because he's too fast. And I chose Ragtag. I figured she'd be the easiest of the threats, and not the hardest, like Nightmare.
Yeah.
Is she? I'm assuming.
No, I
he's
love
just-
this.
he's just
I love
scared.
that we're going fucking balls deep right off the bat. It's why I put him in here.
We could have challenged Munin.
You could have challenged Munin. Oh, that is so like her.
I don't like that.
I don't like that either.
I don't like that either.
Why don't you like it? You're the DM. You're playing them.
Are we playing 1-on-1 for each of them, or are we a team?
It's
against
team against
team?
another team.
Okay. So I won't die immediately.
No, probably.
Because I'm.
You chose the worst person to go.
I
You just
think-
chose one of the
I
worst
think
people.
he's just intimidating. I don't think it's real.
Well,
That's
He's
my
gonna,
point.
yeah, he's gonna be like, "Arr, arr," and then you slap him on the nose. He's like,
Or like he can't.
one of
you
the
guys
few
can
characters
fight
who
up
had
front,
an
and
entire
you might not
back
be
sheet
able
of
to.
powers.
oh yeah, great. Thanks.
Not even my magic lady had that many powers.
Well, I do.
That's because yours is an array. Golan's is that way too because of it.
Okay.
Not trying to diss it, but it's just like, yeah, it's like, because you gotta be like, oh, I'm faster in everything I touch. You know?
can't wait to get my ass kicked by my
Okay, so I got high speed at 22. Hellion, what was your initiative roll again?
My initiative was a 21.
21, right behind high speed. Look at that. And
The
then
dude's keeping up.
the masquerade.
7.
7. Alrighty. Love it. And then, oh yeah, me. I can't forget Gotcha, who I think also has like silly numbers.
Numbers? Now let's don't be silly.
Sorry, you didn't. Yeah, there we go. Oops, sorry.
Matt
Chuckles, everyone.
Yeah.
Oh, my
Thank
bad.
you.
Our
Matt had it.
first guest.
Our first, right? Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah, Mikey was
Love you,
here,
Mikey.
but he just went out the back.
Yeah, right. He was here a second ago, and he
I'll
said,
hold
I
Lips
can't
in
be
the
here right now.
multiverse, And Mr. Mythlips, who looks like Chuckles in this universe, pops in and just, oh, my bad.
Oh, sorry.
All right, and then Gotcha. Wow, that was pretty good. No, not a silly number.
The only thing faster than me and Gullion is Gotcha.
No. Maybe reaction speed wise,
Well, she
sure, but not an actual physical speed. I think
because she could teleport.
instant. But that's the thing, is how it's based. The fight on that would be who reacts first. The person whose brain is functioning at so many milliseconds, blah blah blah, or somebody who can see something and then be like, I'm there.
Yeah.
So you're fighting reaction time at that point.
Yeah.
Which, that's why I think her abilities make her more reaction based. She's going to be more coming into stuff instead of starting stuff.
Got it. So that's why she stands in the silence.
Yeah, she's watching. She's waiting to make her move because she doesn't fight. She doesn't strike back.
Yeah, that's
I know, we're terrible. Okay, so we find ourselves we find ourselves in the middle of this battlefield, and we see that in the field you're about, I would say at this point you guys kind of line, I'm assuming you line up, or is there a specific battle front, as you know, Munin and the people not involved are more of spectating and watching how
Is
this
it like
fight
a
goes.
Coliseum type thing, and then like
Think of it like think of it as like you kind of somehow got into a new world. It's such a big dome that it has its own weather in certain aspects of this.
You in a new world. Try and
Again,
work that out.
You're like, think of it as like the holodeck without any holograms. This is all physical grounds with like a lake off into the north of this, because you enter in from the east of this structure that is miles long. Like, it's literally like an underground city without people or buildings.
Okay,
It's like
so-
an open flat ground for you to practice different terrain types, because there's like faux mountain types in the corner. It's not like giant mountains, but it gives you that rockier terrain that you would work with.
about how far from one end to the other mile-wise?
Mile wise, you're probably looking at about it's an oval that is roughly I'd say 10 to 15 miles from where you're at to the mainland.
Okay.
So they're only, about maybe at this point getting ready for battle about 100 feet away. You could essentially at this point try and direct where people go if you're first, and stuff like that. But that's kind of the area you're in. It's wide open, but it's going to be currently regular to sometimes rough terrain, depending upon how north you start
Right.
heading.
And then there's walls surrounding this, right?
There's walls directly behind you and kind of going the whole like distance of this underground land
Okay.
mass. I guess that's the best way to describe it.
I-
It's a land mass underground.
Okay. Can I turn to them? And I quickly explain, alright, I'm going to take the wall and try to lead Gullion away. See ya! And I just...
Well, we're starting with Gullion.
Oh,
He's the
that's
first to
right.
come. So he's running at... He sees you and he's ready. He wants to take you on. He wants to see how fast you really are. And he bolts to you. And like I said, since you're about 100 feet away, he gets to about 50 miles an hour. And he just looks at you, points, he's like, "Come on, my friend, show me what you've got." And he readies. You can see him starting to ready up something as he starts to spark.
Okay. Can my character sees him point to me and he tries to I can take this away from my team so they can make their own plans. I'm like, I'll see you guys in a
You make a awareness check, I believe.
Gotta steal a dice because your cat stole mine. I don't know. Yeah, it's under the chair.
We'll find it eventually.
Alright, I rolled a 13. Plus, do I add anything to that?
No, just the rank
Oh,
that you put
for-
into it as well. For
Let's try to run.
no, your awareness
Oh.
to see if you get something from him when he says this to you.
Alright, 13 and a 4. That's 17?
So yeah, you get the understanding that he's calling you out for a one-on-one challenge to go basically run around the entire area doing attacks while running.
Okay.
You get this feeling he wants to take you for a spin.
Okay. So.
Ready your asshole.
Huh.
So now it is Ice Speed's turn.
I turn to my guys over here. I'm like, all right. Me and Quickie over here are gonna get a quick run in, and I just take off running up to the wall, and I do what I did in the previous training exercise and just wall run.
Okay, so you wall run. I love
Try
it.
to
I love
avoid
it.
any rough terrain that might mess up my run.
Sure. So I would say make a.
Ah!
Sorry, headphone listeners, and
I
us
am-
in the future.
Cat, you gotta go now.
Lynn strikes again.
The true villain of our stories.
The audio menace.
So yeah, when you get a chance, I'd like you to make a agility check.
Okay. Oh fuck. Can I re-roll that?
You could with a hero point.
I'll take it.
All right, re-roll.
Alright. 13, and then can I also use my other hero point on beginner's luck? Which is a +5 in any temporary rank or skill.
You could. I'd say you don't need to though.
Oh,
I would say with what you rolled, you can successfully be on the wall for this round. So you
that's-
take off and you start running
Wait,
down.
that's a 5, so that's 5.
Yeah. So you just take off running and you're starting to stick to the wall because of how fast you're going. Gullion, with the rest of his movement stored up, starts bolting right after you. So as they run off, we have Hellion. It's your turn, buddy.
Yeah, as our speedy speedster runs off, I don't even say anything to Masquerade. I just rush forward, and I am going to. What all my powers are?
Some of the you're right. Some of them I didn't add because it felt just like you could just do it. So if you're looking for like your leap, we'll just add that. Basically, we'll say it doubles your about 45 movement.
Okay, that's what I'm going to do. I am going to Leaping Lucifer's attack, and I'm just going to leap into the air and sneak dive bomb Hog right in the face.
He's about 100 feet.
Yeah.
So that would give you 85. So that would put you right in front.
Okay, so I would land in front of her.
Yes. You would land in front of him, but you could ready an action because I'll count that as a movement.
Well, then what I want to do is instead of kneeing him, I want to land in front of him and use the knee attack to kick up a lot of dirt, so he can't really see while I ready my next attack.
Perfect. Love it. Awesome. So then we've got. Ooh, it looks like it's Gotcha. So Gotcha's gonna run up about 20 feet. Look at Masquerade and say, "If you need anything, just hit me on the comms," and then disappears as she teleports and reappears. And Nidhogg doesn't see where she goes. Notmare definitely saw where she ended up. And Rada sees where she lands, and she is now 10 feet next to now 10 feet next to Radita, and is we're kind of I can't have it up and running without it affecting the stream.
Oh.
So it's all going to be minefield.
We'll fix this next time, people.
We'll figure it out. But yeah, so then we go to so next to Radita, and then she basically, I don't think anybody's quote. Well, I can't remember what I can do. I think she just. Yeah, okay. So she stands there and she goes and tries to do a weapon break on Ratada's weapon. She grabs her pistol and disarms her. So now we get to 19 minutes. And it's to Radita, who's going to do a backflip away and pull out her basically a shock rifle. It shoots taser bullets, and will take a couple of shots using a multi-attack ability, and crits and fails one. And then, so you see as she does a backflip, she pulls out this almost like a P90, if you've ever seen one of those. It looks kind of like that, shooting an electrical shock. The first one hitting Gotcha right in the shoulder and almost up the neck a little bit, causing critical damage, and she takes -2 to her future rolls. And then the second shot completely misses and ricochets off the ground and causes a little explosion that helps Gotcha keep her footing set. At this point, we now have Notamare, who's up to bat, and he sees that Hellion's in front of him. And kind of looks disinterested. He understands you, and he's not going to get in the fight with you and Nidhogg. So you see as he looks at you and it's like, "I'll come for you next time." And he turns into gas and disappears. I'd like you to make a perception to see if you notice the gas leaving. And then Masquerade, I need you to make a presence or a awareness check.
That's a 16.
The 16, you see as the smoke starts to dissipate and go towards your allies behind you where you came from.
12.
12, you don't really see too much. You're not sure if you see smoke or if you see like a dust devil from the wind starting to pick up around you.
Mm-hmm.
But you feel this presence coming towards you. And you feel like there's eyes watching you right now.
The mist has eyes.
Now it's Nidhogg's turn. who, how far, I said you were like, you landed like 15 feet away.
Yeah.
Nidhogg will, you see as he's got his warhammer about as tall as he is. He's, I think I made him 6 feet, or like 7 feet tall. So he's still a foot below you.
Mm-hmm.
And you see as he just slams his hammer into the ground, he's like, I don't need this today. And he just charges you and will actually start to burrow underground as he's just moving earth just past him.
Well, I kicked up a lot of earth. Doesn't he have difficulty with that?
He saw where you landed, but yes, he cannot see you now.
Okay.
So this is where he's just starting to burrow underneath, going the direction of where he last saw you.
Mhm.
So if you did any movement afterwards, he wouldn't know of it. Or he wouldn't know of it. So he just starts burrowing underground, and you just assume that he's going to essentially kind of land shark below and then try and come up from below, as you've seen him fight with you before.
Okay.
You know he's burrowing underneath to come up at you. So he's just going blindly for now until he can get close enough to where you would be standing.
Okay.
So, and that's his turn as he disappears into the earth, going towards you. Towards where he last thought of you were. Then we get to the masquerade.
Do I see the smoke?
You, with your previous well-informed, yes, you can tell the difference between the Dust Devil and this new form of smoke. Almost like it's magical, but not as clearly magical as you would assume. So you do see a little cloud of smokish stuff come towards you.
Okay. So I'm going to take my fragmentation grenade,
Okay.
and I'm going to throw it into the smoke and hope that light is emitted at least a little bit with
Okay.
the explosion, so that it kind of disperses.
Would you
Yeah.
use your magical ability to adjust the grenade at all? Because I
Yes.
would say your grenades are meant for you to empower to
Yeah.
turn magic, make magical effects with the technology.
So,
If you want to make like a flashbang with that, your grenade, you could totally do that.
yes,
Just you empower, you grab it, and you look at it, and it starts turning like yellow as the like indication dial shows up, and it's just blinking yellow until it's solid, and you chuck it into the you chuck it towards the fog.
Mhm.
Make a attack roll, which is your fighting rank added.
16.
Perfect. 16. He rolled less, so it hits. So as it hits, what happens? It just flashbangs and kind of.
Well, it hits this as I throw it. I say an incantation, and then it hits the ground, and you can see there's a bunch of like shards, but all the shards have sigils on it, and then there are like ghosts with each of the shards running out, emitting light.
Perfect.
And then how do I roll damage?
Yeah, so the damage is going to be your success versus his failure of it, basically. So it's going to be like it'll be his dodge versus your damage roll, essentially, if I remember right.
So I roll again.
Yes, roll one more time. Plus your fighting.
15.
Perfect. So he takes one failure from it because your fragmentation is magic, and that pierces this incorporeal smoke that's in there, and it leaves you. You're not sure how he's feeling after this, but he's definitely not going to be happy that you got hit, especially in his gas form.
I'm going to go into a very lit area after that, if I can.
Okay, so yeah, I would say you would have to head south. That appears to be the where there's like sun coming through like a little cloud cover. So you see spots of sun in the grassy knolls when you head towards the north. So you start running towards the north, seeing that there's that. Is there anything else you do after this? You've got, I would say, time to maybe even radio something in if you wanted to. You could do a quick, like, I would probably say 3-word, like, I'm heading north type thing.
Yeah. Heading north. Is what I'll say.
Perfect. So now we're back to the top, and we're at Gullen, who just runs next to you. And as he runs next to you, he comes up behind you. He's like, "Oh, you're very quick, my friend, but can you stop this?" As he takes 2 hits, 2 strikes at you to try and just like kind of hit you in the back. So you're gonna have to make a parry.
Parry.
Parry the
What would
pepper.
A platypus?
Parry the plat.
So in your defenses, it would be your parry numbers, which should be. I tried to make them all at the top.
2.
So you would add that rank to your roll.
That would be a 14.
14.
Yep.
Okay, he looks like he hits on that first one.
Does it throw
Yes.
off my run at all?
Not the first strike, but let's see if the second one hits. So make another.
Oh shit. Yeah, that's a 6.
Oh, the second one does hit then. So he comes in and he hits you. Bam, bam. You're going to be taking negative. You're going to take a -1 to all your rolls now because you feel slightly damaged, but he didn't like. You feel like he didn't hit you with his hardest. He was just showing you. He's just hitting you to kind of show you along, and he's burst out running, going another almost 80 feet ahead of you.
Okay. So I fall off of the wall then, too, because I was running on the wall.
You more stumble, or actually, let's roll for that
Because I would
I would
imagine
say-
I could probably like stumble and then if I
Right,
catch
so-
myself, continue running after him.
sure, for sure. So let's do a, I would say agility or dexterity, whichever one you have higher in, and roll that.
I got a 19 plus 5. That's a good one.
Yeah, so you get hit and you kind of lose your footing and you kind of roll on the wall and you start falling down, but you catch your feet and you kind of jump off and you just start running as your feet hit the wall again.
Okay.
You kind of swerve back and forth, and then you kind of get back to where you were up on the wall.
Got it.
So now, High Speed, it's your turn. After just getting whacked, taking a -1 for the moment.
Okay. So my character, because he's run ahead of me, right?
Yes, he hit and run.
Can I pull out my baton, and can I try to catch up to him and then just slide on the wall and then take out one of his legs from under him? Kind of like what I tried to do when we first met, but this time, hopefully, success.
Sure, you can definitely give it a go. I would say roll. Let's roll once again, agility or dexterity, whichever one's better, and then you'll also roll a attack roll with your fighting, and I will roll a parry.
So I got a 16 and a 5 for my agility, so that's 21.
Okay.
And then I got a 5 plus a 2 for my fighting.
Perfect. So you slide, and you, with the greatest of ease, your knees are luckily your suit's slightly padded, so you're not feeling the rough and gruff of the basically your floor at this point. As you skid down and you pull out your baton and you go to hit the back of his leg, and as you do that, he takes one more step forward and just barely miss him.
Okay. Do I need to stand up and kind of recover to be next to him and kind of jab at him at all?
Yeah, so I'd say at this point you're currently still in the slide.
Okay.
So, and he's just basically he just outran it, essentially. Like he was still going on the wall, and he just outran it at that moment.
So do I need to roll a recovery? Stand back up?
No.
Okay. I just stand back
You'll
up?
just stand back up your next turn. And I'd say you'd probably lose a little bit of movement,
Yeah.
maybe, but
I'm only...
you're so fast you can do everything super quick. Like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't worry too much about that.
These guys are just seeing us running around. They're seeing, like, blurs of light.
No, you guys have, at this point, disappeared. Like, you guys have basically left the viewable field from everybody,
oh, yeah,
except for Munin, who is following you in the battlefield.
He's just... It's
He's
so
studying.
bright.
He's just studying you guys.
The suit is so bright, it's easy to see it.
Now we get back to Hellion.
Okay, I'm going to use my senses because I know that well, I know what Hog's doing, and so my demon ears twitch. I would like to use my ultimate effort to prepare to get a 20 on a specific check. So the moment he comes out of the ground, I am just going to kick him in the face with my cloven hooves.
Hop goes the weasel.
Yes, I will allow that as long as you can come up with a phrase when his turn's up, which is probably you get a couple of turns. So I will definitely allow this.
I shall allow the move, but only if you can have a witty pun.
Exactly. Make your wittiest pun. You've been warned. But yeah, so you're like you said, your ears twitch, and you effectively get you start hearing the crumble of the earth underneath your feet, and you start feeling this slight tremor as it starts coming up. You know that he's kind of locked in where you currently are. You make a very sly little quick jump, kind of at the last minute before you feel it exit.
I want to say this: I jump off the ground, and then my tail whips around and taps the ground where I was.
Exactly. That is exactly what happens. Taps where it was, so it gives him that extra sense of you just kind of looking and waiting,
Yeah.
while you've actually jumped and you are in midair, ready to just land and give him a swift kick as he's about to exit the ground. Perfect. So make sure you mark that you spent one of those.
Mm-hmm.
But I love it. And then we've got, Gotcha, who's currently in the mist with Rattata the Blunder Blaster. Not an easy name to say, but it's fun. Blunder Blaster. As she will pull up her comm and radio confirm hearing what Masquerade said. And knowing what Masquerade's up against, she looks at Brad and is like, I don't got time for you now, but I'm coming back for you. And as she jumps backwards, she disappears. Moving, I would say probably 80 feet away from where you currently are, as you see that she's now kind of running towards you.
Mm-hmm.
Slowly trying to make her way, but that's as much as she can give at that moment. More readying a reaction for if you were to be attacked by Notmare, which is clearly what's going to probably happen. So that's all she does. Then we go to Rattata, who's going to now, ignoring that threat for now, is going to turn her attention. Let's see, who's nearby? Other than Hell, but she can't necessarily, no, she can't see Hellion. She can see Nid, no, she can't see Nidhogg, he's underground. You guys are too far away even for her senses. So I guess, yeah, she'll actually, you see as she gets to the highest point that she can get to, and there's this little sharp-edged rock that's pointing towards the south, and she sits on there, and you see as she kind of gets down to one knee, and her sniper rifle pulls out from her back over her shoulder as the essentially a faux visor goes over her face to help project her seeing abilities.
Could I see all this happening from where I'm running?
No, you are running the exact opposite direction.
Got it.
She is going to take a attack at. We will say definitely the masquerade. So make a dodge roll for me, please. Where did she go?
Natural 20.
Oh, nice.
Our first natural 20 of the night.
Natural
folks.
20 of the night.
Powers!
Alright. So yeah, she takes a shot with a sniper or a basically a taser shot. Not trying to really cause damage to you, but definitely wanting you to just not be in this fight. She sees you as a threat. For if you don't know why, but she sees you as a threat. And she takes a shot and you feel the change. You feel that electricity coming at you with like this third eye mentality of your magic. And you just quickly just jump forward and it completely misses you as you continue to keep running down that way. She now has to, you see that the round shoots out of the top of it and it goes back to reload. We go to Notmare, who is slowly on your ass. You can feel him as he starts getting closer and closer to you, and he will take an attack, or will use one of his fancy schmancy abilities. Ooh, yes, he will. So make a will check. As he will essentially come around you, and as you start seeing this black fog come near you, it will start to try and enter your mouth and nose, trying to suffocate you.
Where's oh?
Will is your basic stats.
So 7.
7. I feel bad for you, son. So yeah, you are currently impaired. So you you feel as the smoke starts entering in and starting to suffocate you. You are having a hard time breathing, and you're starting to lose focus. You are now rolling at like disadvantage for a little bit. As you will, at the beginning of your next turn, you can make another will check to essentially remove him.
Okay.
Gotcha is not able to do nothing in that circumstance. She can't see